A sociologist once said that the average person will actually impact 10,000 people in a lifetime. Average person. But I think if you live your life in such a way that you're willing to serve and willing to give, right, you'll impact more than 10,000 people in a lifetime. Because when you
Yeah,
think
you're more
about
than
it,
likely.
yeah, you're more than likely, because it's all about like serving leadership, because giving is receiving turned inside out. So it's about like, how can you give, how can you support, how can you be a blessing to somebody else? Because when you think about it, like in everything I've done and everything you've done, there have been people that actually help you out along the way to achieve what you've done thus far. Nobody's done anything alone. And I think that's why it's critical that we be purpose filled to be willing to give back to others. So we're live now. Hey Andrea, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Tyrone Smith, the co-founder of First to Go Inc. We got the First to Go Inc. Power Session going on right now with one of our alum, Andrea Blanco. Check this out. We're gonna see what she has going on right now in her life, her story, her journey. I got like an instrumental playing like in the background. She was bobbing her head earlier. I was taking her back to her journey beyond dream days with First to Go Inc. at Baylor University, where we had the instrumentals playing. When the instrumentals playing, the students are excited. We get them going. They're gonna do a group dynamic activity. They're clapping. We're clapping. They come in the gym. They're gonna do an activity that's gonna challenge them to think about like getting beyond the current situation, working collectively as a group with their classmates and teammates and people that they don't even know from either Yates, Wheatley, Reagan, Davis, or Sam Houston High School. Reagan is Heights, Davis is Northside High School. And so we have Andrea, you're in the house, you hear the music, I'm taking you back. I saw you bobbing your head earlier. Yes, I saw you bobbing your head earlier and rocking. You know what I mean? So, man, glad to have you on here today for the First to Go Inc. Power Session. How you doing, sister?
Good. Thank you for having me. I was bobbing my head. As you were talking about that, I remember like I was telling you earlier about how during like our sessions in Journey Beyond Dreams, which I was 2009,
Yeah, 2009. Not too many years ago.
not too many years ago, we actually had, groups of, a bunch of us students, young kids, and we'd go and we'd do like our own little rap and everything and song. And it was like, we were in groups and we had like either like a theme or an animal that we had to represent. Ours was like the gators. And I don't even remember what it was. I just remember it was like, gators. Like it was something so silly. But yeah, it brought me back. But really quick, just to kind of bring everybody up to date, my name is Andrea. I was part of the Journey Beyond Dreams program in 2009. I got the awesome opportunity of going to Baylor University, and we were there for about like a week and a half.
Yes.
It was a long
10
program.
days.
Yeah, we were there in the dorms. That was the first time I had ever stepped on a college campus and was like able to sleep somewhere other than my house. So that was really, really like fun, interesting. It caused like a lot of like nervousness in me. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna sleep somewhere else on my house. But right now, I mean, I can tell you 1,000 things. I talk a lot. I'm married. I just celebrated my 7-year anniversary with my husband. I have 4 dogs. If you hear them in the background, that's them. They're a pack of spoiled mutts. Uh, So, I have kind of, been through a lot of, different like job experiences and just like through college and things like that. One of the things that I really value from my experience with Journey Beyond Dreams was just the ability to, get out there. Just coming from, a very low income family and, just being around, schools normally that are, you're around a lot of kids that are just like you, that, either, nobody's been to college. Nobody really knows like what they're going to do after they get out of high school. It was just really interesting to go and meet other people that were in the same boat, but meeting like our counselors that were more or less like, hey, like this is what I'm thinking about doing. This is what I am doing. And just really getting out there. And it was more or less, very much about education, but just about, inspiring others around you to want to be an awesome version of themselves.
Right.
So I think that really just stayed with me, and I really appreciate that. But let's see, we also have kind of like one of the best memories that I have about Journey Beyond Dreams is also uh, more or less the ability to connect with other like youth in a way of like during the time I was kind of going through this weird, and I'm going to share a little vulnerability with you,
It's okay.
with all of y'all. So, during the time I was relatively, very young. I was in high school. I had actually, had one of my parents pass away. My mother passed away when I was 13. And that kind of really nudged my world, where I was in an environment where, I had a big support group. I have a big family, which I love. And they're one of the main reasons why I think that I wanted to almost like change my journey per se, because I wanted people to be proud of me, and I wanted to feel like I could do something beyond my story, what was being written. So I want to rewrite a lot of things. And I think I ended up taking it upon myself to not get involved with drugs or get involved with, any of the things that you hear, in those schools. Most particular, you hear like, kids are getting in fights, or
Right.
like, taking drugs, doing stuff like skipping school, things like that. So I really tried to stay away from that. And, joining any organization, I remember that summer, Journey Beyond Dreams was not the only camp I went to. I was able to go to another camp over, at U of H. And I just, after that, I just wanted to get involved and wanted to, be part of something bigger than me. And I think that's one of the main things that we, when we talk about leadership, it's being more than what you are. Kind of took a little bit of backtrack thinking, I'm very hands-on, like even now, when you talk about, what do you see in a leader that is something that somebody wants to follow, somebody that somebody wants to, emulate, things like that. I want to say that in my perspective, I think an amazing leader is someone that takes all those components of people that, you see like, wow, he does this really well, they do this really well, working as a team, and is very, high touch, more or less, I'm going to go in with my sheep, and we're going to work, and we're going to get in the mud, and we're going to do, X, Y, Z, and we're going to get the job done. And
Right.
I think that's what people look to. Right now I actually work for a great company. I work for Chili's, and I've been with them for about 9 years. It's been such a blessing in disguise. I kind of worked up my way through the ranks, from, being like a server, and then, eventually into management. And one of the biggest takeaways that I basically work with every day is, owning, owning it completely, having self accountability, and
Right.
taking to really, look and see like, hey, how can I do this better? Or, hey, I did this and this was the effect of that. So what can I do to turn around and make this a better experience for somebody and for myself?
Wow.
So, it's crazy. I think yesterday we were kind of talking about, what does, leadership look like? And to me, it's very much about servant leadership. Going back to what I was saying, I definitely think that leadership style is one of the, ones that sometimes gets over
Right.
because, you want to say like, hey, this person just does too much. You got to
Right.
delegate, do X, Y, Z. You got to be a boss.
Right.
But I, in my experience, the best people that I've worked with and the best leaders that I have, come to work under, are those that really understand you and kind of take your hand and say like, I'm here with you.
Right.
So
That's awesome. But think about this though. I mean, because you said a lot, and you said some powerful stuff thus far. And so when you think about what people don't know based on our conversation we had earlier before we actually went live, you talked about how shy and reserved that you were, right? So now here it is, like for those who are tuning in, Andrea, she was a part of the Journey Beyond Dreams College Experience Program through First and Go, where we take students that were primarily first generation college students. They'd be the first in their family to go to college. And she went with the partnership that we actually have a Project Grad Houston. We had students from Yates, Wheatley, Reagan, Davis, Sam Houston High School. All right. All these students, first generation, first time leaving Houston for the most part, first time leaving the hood, first time leaving the block. And they're going out of town to get this ultimate college experience They're rooming with people that they don't know. They're intermingling with people that they don't know. They're forming life groups, and they're being challenged outside of their comfort zone. Now, what Andrea didn't tell you is that she was very shy and reserved. And now you see how she is right now. But I'm really grateful and thankful that you're doing amazing things with your life. But really, it speaks to the program and the mission of First and Go Inc., which is really to help students become a better version of themselves. And you said that because that's the way I describe it. Somebody just asked me yesterday, what is your organization about? I say with the multiple programs that we have through First and Go Inc., our premise and focus is to really help young people to become better version of themselves. It's about addressing learned behaviors that may be dysfunctional that actually may hold them back to be a higher functioning person. So when you said that, you were exactly on point and on task. So big ups to you on that. All right. I just had to give you credit for that, man, because you really just kind of just hitting all net right now with the insight and wisdom that you're giving everybody. Yeah, I see you. Boom, there you go. That all net. Huh?
I was not very good at basketball. But yeah, actually, as you're talking about that, I was very shy. I was talking to you about that the other day. How when I went to the camp, and we met a lot of people, I was scared to say my name. I was scared to say what high school I was from. I was just scared of everything. And I remember that when we had like these inner circle, at the end of the day, we would go to our group. And we had to talk like, what's, your favorite thing that you learned today, or your favorite activity? And I would be so scared to just talk, just in general.
Right.
I didn't want to say anything. And now it's really crazy how it's not more or less, like being shy and just, very considerate. It's also about how you don't want to share those things about yourself, because it is, it's scary to be vulnerable and to let people.
Right.
So, that's one thing that you learn kind of as you grow up and you decide, hey, I'm not that I'm scared anymore, but because it's still, but you want to let people know, like, hey, this is me. This is what's up.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure that exactly, what's going on, how I'm feeling, how we're going to do this, this plan that we're going to do.
Right.
So yeah, that was fun. I think I've grown up a little bit, a lot, but another thing that I really wanted to, talk about is, and I wrote 1,000 notes because
bring all the notes, man. Bring them on.
So one of the things is, I was kind of looking over a lot of books, and I was telling you that I've been blessed with meeting a lot of people in my life that have shown great leadership and just have made me really aspire to be, like I said, like a better person. And right. One of them is actually my uncle. My uncle is like the wisest person I know, and okay. he's just so intelligent, and he doesn't flaunt it. He's like undercover. Yeah, undercover. And he's always talking about books and reading books. And recently I was talking about just leadership. I said, hey, this is how I'm feeling at work, and like I really just want to like master my craft. And he sent me audiobooks. He told me like, you should read this, etc. And to me, that's more or less like legacy.
Right.
Very much if you're sharing that wisdom with people around you and creating and developing those leaders around you, that's your lasting legacy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be wealth. It doesn't have to be a house material. It's really about all those thoughts and all those, words that you say to people. And,
right.
Eventually like those things will be passed on past your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you how extraordinary it is to, have somebody in my family that I can go to, and then they'll immediately like, hey, you should read this. This is going to make it on you. So, and I just looking back at a couple of messages, I like write a little book report and I send it to him, and I'm like, this is how, I think this book, I identified with this. So it's really cool.
That's amazing. And so really what I'm hearing a couple of things. Now, based on where you are right now, your life, your story, your journey, you talked about leadership and your capacity of being a leader in regards to like a servant leader. And you talked about legacy in regards to your uncle actually interacting and sharing and giving information to you. But I think that you have a book in you, though, for real.
Yeah?
I think you do. Seriously. I think that you have a book in you. I mean, I don't know if I'm kind of telling you something that somebody's already told you, but I think that you have a book in you that needs to be written.
Let's do it, Tyrone. I think mostly I was talking to you about how like when you're young your experiences sometimes shape you to be the person that you are,
Right.
and sometimes they if depending on what type of person you are, your influences, etc., you can be in a position where you just let things drag you, and you make those choices, right? We all
Right.
make. I think that I've been once again very blessed to have met the people that I've met,
Yeah.
part of the programs and the schools, and just even my choice in university. I was not incredibly religious, and then I ended up going to a Catholic university, and I
Yeah.
learned so much about just like even the faith that my culture
Hmm.
celebrates, and just knowing more about yourself really helps you and helped me just discover more of who I was, and accepting the flaws and everything that maybe I was like, hey, like this happened in my life and I feel sorry for myself. But instead of feeling sorry for yourself, you more or less grow, and you just grow into that out of the flower pot,
Right.
and out into the world, and you're just becoming part of that world.
Hmm. And I know what university that you went to. Where did you go to school, to let the audience know?
University of St. Thomas.
So
So
how was that experience like for you? University of St. Thomas, being the first in your family to go to college. How was that experience for you?
it was very interesting. When I actually got to college, I went to school with a lot of other people that were either homeschooled or they went to these private schools around the Houston area.
Right.
So sometimes I want to hear like, oh, I went to St. Anne's. I was like, wow, like they went to this school, and
Right.
here I was from an HISD school, and I read like a couple of books in the Vanguard program. But so a lot of the kids had traveled and many other things that I was not able to do. But just being around that environment really taught me to be resilient and
Yeah.
to ask questions about the people around me, because yeah, I mean, I probably didn't have those same experiences they did, but I could learn from what they saw and what they learned. And it was very interesting, kind of getting to know like how I was going to study, um,
Right.
how I was going to be able to do work and school, just learning how to juggle all those things, and meeting a lot of people kind of the same way when you go to any camp or when you do any
Right.
just like Journey Beyond Dreams. You get to meet people that you never thought you would meet. uh,
Right.
so it was interesting going to school to a private university, and also being in like the heart of Houston. I was right in
Yeah.
the Midtown area, so
Yeah.
it was a hustle and bustle type thing.
Right. Right.
Stuck in traffic all the time. Um, it was incredible. I had gotten my license probably the summer right before starting college. So I
Yeah.
had a lot of car accidents. I went into ditches. It was, and if you ask my
Yeah.
husband, actually, he had to help me maybe 3 times during that time to get out of ditches. So that was me.
That is hilarious. But think about this though. Now, here it is. You participated in the First and Growing Journey Beyond Dreams program like 11 years ago. And so for me, you got to imagine how it is for me. I think you were like about one of maybe like about a close to 100 some students. And now for it to be like full circle to kind of see where you are now, your journey, your life, and your story, that is like truly, it excites me because um, when we created this organization, it was about, giving back to young people, positioning them to actually get outside of their environment and really just to give them that rich exposure. And it really excites me to kind of see where you are right now, your life, your story, your journey, your dialogue, how you can actually communicate what it is that you're doing, what it is that you love about life, and how you embrace life. And so that really makes me feel good. And it really encourages me as well because, we haven't done the Journey Beyond Dreams program in maybe about like 8 years, right? So it's been about 8 years when we had like multiple schools. Now we do a version of the Journey Beyond Dreams program, which is an shoot of the Journey Beyond Dreams for Aldine. It's called Prepare to Dream, and it's exclusive for Aldine ISD students. And we've done it for Aldine ISD the past 12 years. So we've still kept the college experience program going, But we're looking to get back to do like the larger scale program for like multiple schools and multiple school districts. Now, the Prepare to Dream, that's an awesome program we've been doing for all in ISD. We're doing it virtually this upcoming year. And what we're doing, we're going to look to actually launch Journey Beyond Dreams like in 2021, right? So like you heard it here first, Journey Beyond Dreams in 2021. But special announcement, more details to come, right? And what I'm looking to do is really bring individuals like yourself and others who've been a part of the Journey Beyond Dreams to Prepare to Dream experience and to be a part of the planning team, the advisory board, and the advisory committee to kind of put some logistics together and to create another college ed platform within First and Goal Inc. that's sustainable. We're bringing alum in to be a part to actually support it in multiple capacities. All right. So I'm really looking forward to that because we haven't done Journey Beyond Dreams on a large scale due to funding. But you know what? There's something that we're actually working on. Going to make a special announcement in like about 2 weeks. I'm truly excited. You know, it's all about patience. You know, you can't rush the process. You got to embrace the process. So I think what we're doing right now with the First and Goal Inc. Power Session, which is a dialogue about mentoring and leadership, it really lets people see and hear the work that we've done, but then the impact that we've made, but then seeing like you and others, you know, what you're doing just really just validates it all. So I'm really looking forward to just relaunching the Journey Beyond Dreams program because it was one of my favorite programs within the organization because we would go away, do these games, activities, have fun, cry at the end, you know what I mean? It's not going everywhere and everybody go back on their way and conquer the world.
Yeah, I want to say that, like, you know, to anybody that's watching, Journey Beyond Dreams is really even more than just a program to like help expose first generation students. It was really a way to connect with other students in a way that you couldn't do it in like a school setting, because you, like you said, you get people out of their comfort zone and you're exposing them to things that they never thought that they would, you know, be exposed to. And you just get there and you're having to like live the college life, room with somebody you don't know. You have to get to know them. You got to know, like, hey, like, do you like the lights on or off? Like, whenever you're about to go to bed, you go in and it's like a, what is it called? A community restroom, like
right, community restroom, right?
Yeah, and you know, you got to learn about that, and you know, it's so many things that you just experience for the first time, and you're like, wow, this is crazy. So you bond in so many ways, and so when you do, you know, you're done with the program, and you're like, you got to say bye to all your friends. It's kind of sad because you're like, oh, I'm never gonna see you again.
I know.
But it is exciting, you know, seeing, you know, like you said, like seeing people that you haven't talked to in a long time and they went through the program as well, and you're seeing how they're doing, and it's like, wow, we were just kids.
Right.
We were kids doing this crazy thing. But yeah, it was an awesome experience. I can't tell you how thankful I am that I was able to do Journey Beyond Dreams during that summer. It was awesome.
Man, thank you for those heartfelt words. But think about this now. You pretty much like hit like all the boxes, like Andrew. You talked about like leadership, right? Serving leadership. You talked about like life as well, and you talked about legacy. So I can tell you prepared for this session, like you were like ready, man, right? You hit all the marks. And so when you think about everything that you've experienced in life in regards to where you are right now and everything you've done and everything you desire to do, like what is that one thing you would tell somebody who's out there listening who's really maybe just trying to figure life out right now, right? Because right now everybody's dealing with this global pandemic. Everybody's having to hit the reset button. And so what is it that life lesson or that teachable moment or that just drop the mic element that you would give anybody out there right now that's really just trying to figure life out, trying to actually just reset, trying to think about what's next for them, right? Because we talked about leadership, we talked about life, we talked about legacy, or it could even be something of a recap based on what you shared earlier. So is there anything you would like to say as far as like parting notes or thoughts for anybody?
So many things. I'm a ranter, so I can go on. I think definitely really, you know, be kind. Be kind to everyone around you. Be kind to yourself. Everybody's fighting a battle, and you know, these are not easy times. And most importantly, believe in yourself more than you think you already do. And I say that because most of the time we are our own worst critic, And, when times get tough, we tend to just, close up and,
Right.
we're going to throw in the towel. It's not for me. But find ways to make all those obstacles opportunities and all those challenges be opportunities as well, because you're never, the best growth happens when you're failing. And if you're not failing, then there's no way you're growing. So I'll leave it at that.
Man, that's good. I mean, if you're not failing, you're not growing because if you're not failing, like you're not stretching yourself. If you're not failing, that means you're comfortable. If you're comfortable, that means you're content. So, I mean, I like that. I'm gonna recycle what you said. All right, I'm gonna recycle it. Yeah, you better copyright it by next week because I think I may use it next week for my next presentation. No, but no, I think that's really apropos that you would actually say that because the thing about it is, we all have the capacity to grow, but we can't grow when we're stagnant. We can't grow when we're still. And so that's definitely like well said. And just thank you for that information. Man, look at you, man, just growing up big time, right? Big
Yes.
time. Big time, man. So hey, everybody, man, thanks for tuning in. We have Andrea Blanco. So I want to say Andrea Blanco Arroyo. I mean, so how do you what
So I pronounce my name Andrea, or no, sorry, Andrea. It gets weird in English.
right?
You're supposed to pronounce it Andrea.
Andrea. Hold on. Andrea.
Andrea, yes.
Andrea. Okay, got you. I gotta like roll the tongue a little bit. Andrea. Okay, got it. Okay.
Now my maiden name is actually Arroyo. So
Arroyo. Okay.
Arroyo. So
Arroyo.
yes. So and no, I don't have my maiden name anymore, but I have it on like my email and something like that. So I've never changed it. It's just something I haven't like.
Got you.
But my last name is Blanco.
Okay,
So
Blanco.
it's a little
Andrea Gerardo Blanco. Did I say that right?
almost there. You have a week. You have a week to get a test.
Let me stop then. Let me stop. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. We're good. We're good. We're good. But no, now I'm glad that you were able to come on today. And for those that are like tuning in, listening, man, you can inbox me if you want to have any information about Andrea, right? And everything she's doing, what she's about, her life, her story, and her journey. But you can see it here. And man, once again, just thank you, Andrea, for tuning in. If you want to just support anything that we're doing First and Goal, and you can go to our website, teamfirstandgoal.org. It's spelled out TEAMFIRSTANDGOAL.org. So you can see what we have going on, to donate or support in any way, shape, form, or fashion, to see the stories about alumni that are really like doing amazing things. But hey, in 2 weeks, we're going to make a special announcement. And I'm really super excited because it's all about being patient and embracing the process. And hey, my boy, Trey would always press record. Man, hey, Andrea, you realize, man, we're getting a viewership now from Belgium. People actually watching these particular segments in Belgium, right? You can go to alwayspressrecord.com, on Google Play, on Roku, so it's amazing to actually have an opportunity virtually to mentor, support, and lead individuals with wisdom, guidance, and insight because you brought some major knowledge to the table today. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Hey, so before we close, you want to give a big shout out to anybody before we close it out? Any shout outs to anybody?
I have to give a shout out to all my family because we're crazy Latinos, and it's so many to name. All of you know who you are, and I love all of you. I do want to give a shout out to a lot of the people that were kind of in the background, and mostly like managers I've had, like teachers I've had. I actually found a book that is, unfortunately from a marketing teacher that I had in high school, and she passed away. But, I'm just like thinking how it's amazing how all these, people just like really ground out to be like your life and you just remember them. That's legacy going on. I also want to give a shout out to my husband. He supports me in ways that I just, couldn't imagine. He's so awesome, so patient. Did I mention he's so patient?
I need to
And
meet him. I need some patience. I need to meet her. Tell him to give me some patience. I need some patience.
I always ask him like how we were like, I don't know what we were doing yesterday. And I was like, how are you so patient with me? Because I am crazy. And he's just like, I don't know how I do it either. But yeah, that's love.
Right, it's love.
But yeah, definitely just a shout out to my family, to my closest friends who, I sent a message this morning. I was like, hey, I'm doing this, so if they were able to tune in, thank you so much. But, definitely we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for, amazing people that really take the time to, find funds and find, just ways to help youth, like myself when I was younger. So thank you, Tyrone.
Man, thank you. Hey, it's a collective effort, right? It's people like me and others, and like yourself now, even as an adult, that really find ways to give back and support the young people in the world today. So I'm just doing my part like everybody else has been doing their part. Good
Yeah.
deal. Good deal. Hey, everybody, thanks again for tuning in. Hey, we will do it again next week. We have Esty Hernandez. She is a professor at Texas Christian University. She's a part of the First and Goal program as a facilitator, youth service specialist, counselor. So she's doing big things now. She has a doctorate. Like I said, she's at Texas Christian University. She's going to be a part of our virtual Prepare to Dream program as well, Andrea, that we're going to be doing with Albany ISD later this upcoming year. So there's a lot that's actually going on in the life and the work that we're doing here at First and Go Inc. And once again, Andrea, I thank you, man, from the bottom of my heart. We're going to chat briefly after I close everything out. But thank you. Everybody, see you all again on next week with the First and Go Inc. Power Session. Peace and blessings. Look, fade our music.
Former NFL turned mentor / author / soldier on the front line of change. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tyrone Smith. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Man, good morning, KG, man. Thankful and grateful to be here, brother. Do you understand, realize, and know your purpose and your plan based on the influence that God has given each and every one of you in regards to your lives that you have as individuals? Do you know that you're destined to be great? What is the collective group dynamic for your guys' team? Everybody want to win. But the thing about it is, you have to be willing to win. You have to be willing to commit yourself to whatever it is you need to do daily to be the best that you can be. Leaders. But the thing that you must understand in regards to your life, you cannot lead anybody else until you lead who first? Yourself. You got to be the example. Because one thing I want you all to realize and understand about leadership is influence, and it's all about how you use your influence.
Hi, this is Jennifer Morataya, and I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Mr. Tyrone Smith for impacting, empowering, and inspiring our students, our staff, and college leaders. With your high energy, your words of wisdom, and your storytelling, you have kept us all engaged in a virtual space. Not only are you a positive role model for our students, but you have challenged them to take action and become better versions of themselves. So thank you for helping us build tomorrow's leaders today.